Okay, here we go. Welcome back, everyone. Can we believe it's May? Who's like feeling school's getting out? Mother's Day just happened. Graduations, crazy time. I know lots of people are ready for vacation. I keep hearing everyone's like, I'm going on vacation, which is exciting. Um, so welcome to our May webinar. We're going to get started here in just a moment as you guys pop in this morning, this afternoon, depending on what time zone you're in. Um, this is a webinar that we have done kind of every year for the last few years. It's that time of year where a lot of our United Way customers are getting ready for their annual campaign season. And yes, we know campaigns year round, but there is kind of that larger push towards that fall time frame. So you're probably starting to think about your pages and what you want to do. I will say this, we know that not everyone on this webinar is a United Way, and we do get that. It is a little United Way heavy, not gonna lie, but everything that we show is like page layouts and things about rotors and things about forms and stuff like that. So if you feel like you could learn by seeing those kind of things, please hang in there. But we are going to be talking really kind of focused on that campaign preparation type of thing. So thank you all for joining us today. Today's webinar, Chrissy's presenting with me. Jordan's getting a break. So she's going to help moderate. Christina couldn't join us today. But Brian's here also from our sales team. So this is always my Brian moment. Brian, say hello to everyone.
Hi, yes, and if you're a Win Each customer, please reach out to me if you're doing any June, July fiscal planning. You just completed the United Way rebrand, you name it, just reach out. I've saved a lot of people a bunch of money so far in their planning this year. So it's my 2 cents.
Yes. And if you are in budgeting season, because I know everyone's has different fiscal years, but that July to June is pretty popular. Reach out to us if you're needing to get some ideas for some budgeting, whether it's upgrading your site, people you know needing a new site, or some of the add-ons like the ADA widgets and the poverty simulators and some of those tools. Ask your account manager if you're a current customer about any of our add-on options for your budgeting purposes. All right, that's that plug. Here's our agenda today. We always start with a know your audience. I'm going to ask you guys a couple questions. It's when we put a poll on the screen, and we're hoping you're paying attention and you're going to click on your screen and answer those. I'll throw some did you knows at you, just little tips and tidbits that we always think everyone knows, but sometimes people know it and sometimes people don't. And then Chrissy's going to lead our showcase today. We've got some great samples pulled up. And I really love this part of our webinars where you might be surprised to see your website featured, where we show like real pages by real customers doing real work. And there's great ideas to be found there. I'm going to run us into the practical side of things. I will actually schedule out a rotor. I'm using our new branded site, so you're going to get to see the back end of that, which is kind of cool. Um, I will create a campaign page and embed a YouTube video and do some embed a pledge form as well. We're also going to be talking about some things with the online pledge forms that we have, including allowing, say, an administrator from a school to be able to see the results on your website. So I'll go through all that. The last part of our webinar, we have a document on how to launch a successful campaign, and I'll be sharing that with you. It's going to be something that we'll send out at the end of this. Was there a question or did someone just cough? Okay.
I coughed. Me.
You coughed. It's okay. I was like, oh, know your audience. This is poll time. So let me launch that. Look on your screen. You should see two questions, pretty simple ones this time. We just kind of want to know what you're doing. If you are doing pledge processing, I realize not everyone on the call might answer this question. What's your methodology for campaign? Is it online only? Is it online and paper? Is it paper only? And then what tools are you using for your pledges? We have our web forms. I know Andar, a lot of people use their e-pledge. Some people use GiveSmart. And then there's a bunch of others out there. If you mark other and you'd like to share, you can use the Q&A box to let us know what it is you're using for your online pledges, because people like to hear that stuff. And I don't know all the tools that are out there. Also, it's a good point in time to remind you that that Q&A box is how you communicate with us during this webinar. So hopefully you see that. Type in any questions, any comments you have. Share your stuff too, because we're going to be highlighting some cool pledge cards if in cool workplace pages. If you're like, they should show mine, put it in our Q&A and so we can share it out to others. Okay, fundraise up. I was wondering if Fundraise Up had a pledge card. Donor Perfect, Donor Snap. Listen to you guys go. Okay. Yes, we are recording this webinar and the webinar will be available at the end. Tomorrow we'll have it on our webinar page. You'll also get emailed a link to it. Let me go ahead and end this poll and I will share those results. So we're not really at the online only, and most people are doing both, which I get. But some of you are still at paper only, and this is a great webinar because I think it's time to think about at least incorporating some online options for some of those employers. We're in 2025, folks. People are used to going to the website to fill things out, to do those things online. A lot of you are using our forms, so we will talk some more about that, and this is a great time to ask any specific questions you have about our pledge cards. I'll be running into those as we maneuver to that part of the webinar. So here's my did you knows for today. Did you know you can schedule a rotor? I hope you all know that, but every once in a while we find out folks don't realize there is an option, and if you don't see it, we need to turn that feature on for you. But this can be great for you during campaign season, because what better than to be organized when you're really stressful during campaign and know that your rotating images are changing out to match what's going on, to match your events, to match your messaging, and to just be fresh and new as campaign season goes. Also, just a reminder on those URLs. Keep your URLs simple. /campaign should be the URL, or something similar should be your stock URL for campaign, because then you have it every year and then people know what to go to. Same thing as if you're using businesses like a school. Well, you probably use the name of the school or the name of a business. You can create individualized campaign pages for businesses, give them their own designated URLs. Do not put the year in it, because you want them to be able to bookmark it and use it year after year. The web form reports, I mentioned this up front, but we have the ability to create an authenticated user that will allow an administrator from an organization to see web form results on a pledge card without you having to pull it and give it to them. So we're going to go through that. And then embedding code. So yes, embedding videos, we can embed YouTube videos, but those of you using a third-party tool for your pledge cards, if it comes with embed code, you can put it inside your website. That gives a really nice presence. It just depends on whether or not that code is available to you. So, okay, I'm going to stop sharing, and Chrissy's going to
Okay.
take over and show some samples for us.
Yes. Thank you, Allison. I've got lots of great samples today. And also we will provide you, because I think you'll see a lot of great pages that you'll like, and we'll be sure to provide you with those page links after the webinar as well, so that if you see anything you like and you want help building that page, please contact us. Allison and I are available as your account managers to walk you through building some of these neat pages. We have plenty of resources available as well on our support site if you need training. But I think you're going to see some very great stuff today. And it's really exciting to see all the great work that all of you are doing with these pages. So I'm going to start with United Way of Denton County. I actually have a few pages with them because I was really impressed with their campaign pages. They're currently in one of our brand new United Way branded themes. This is our Camelback theme. But I wanted to start with their Give to Improve Lives page. I just love this in this new theme. It looks great. The header image is great with a center focal point, which is always very important for when it adjusts to mobile view. But they're using a lot of page components. They're using rich text components. They're using background colors in the styling settings. I love that they're using this little carousel component on the page with actual words in there that scroll. I thought that was pretty cool and makes the page a bit interactive. But they're also using great imagery, columns, the link buttons. Everything's very organized. And then I love that this main page links out to some of the other pages that I'd like to show. But they're using accordions. Accordions are always great for these pages. You can nestle a lot of information within them with the rich text components, as you can see how they've done here. But I'm going to move on. The next one is their organizations and companies pages. I thought this was very visually appealing. Again, a very nice header image with the focal center point. Fantastic imagery. They're using columns, link buttons, a little bit of the accordions. So it looks very nice. One thing that I love about it too, I love their imagery as well. And I like to mention that, and I know this is mentioned a lot in our webinars, but if you need a platform in which you can work with your imagery, because these are all created before they upload this to the site. Canva is wonderful. You can create the custom sizes that are needed for all the different image upload types. You can create very stimulating creative imagery. And as a nonprofit, you get a free pro account with Canva. So we highly recommend Canva. They're wonderful. I'm sure I hear many of you are already using them, but I always like to put that out there. I have a lot of samples, so I'm trying not to go too fast, but not too slow as well. This is their employee giving campaign, a page that kind of explains why they should have an employee giving campaign, trying to recruit more campaigns. I like what they've done with this, again, with the colors, the link buttons, the different columns. As we scroll down here, different imagery. So I wanted to show this as well. They just have a lot of nice pages, and I hope they're on here today. I'm not sure if they are, but very nice work. And then this is their campaign toolkit, which I thought was very visually appealing, again, with the great imagery that they're using, all the different page components that you have available to you, the link buttons. They have plenty of embedded videos on a page, which Allison's going to show you how to do later. You can embed a lot of things on your internal pages, whether it be a form, a video, thermometer, different things. As long as it has an embed code, you can usually place these right on your pages yourself. So you can see they're using accordions. They have a lot more impact videos that they're providing in their campaign toolkit. Different things, logos, special events that are coming up. The accordions just work very well to display everything in a clean, smooth format on the page. And now I'm going to move on to Tiger Valley United Way. They're also on one of our new branded themes. This is the Javelina theme. They've also done a really nice job with it. But a couple campaign pages that I really like that they're doing. This is their campaign toolkit. Maybe not as many page components being used as the previous examples, but it's very clean. It's very bright and colorful. Again, with a nice focal point for the header image. I'm sorry that these were opened already, as I was looking at these earlier, but they are using the accordions, which look very nice on the page. And then within the accordions, they're using the rich text component and bulleting out the different items that the visitors can download within the accordions. So it's very neat. It's very clean. Great job there. And I liked this little, the small business circle page that they created to encourage, to engage their small businesses in their communities with different incentives when they give, different recognitions. They've got the link buttons, they're featuring all their sponsors, and they're using columns equal to display these sponsors. And so I thought that was a nice page.
I
Go
love
ahead, Allison.
yeah, I love the 360, what was the name of this? 365 Small Business Circle 365.
Yeah.
The United Way I was involved with, we used to do that. We got the radio stations involved, and our board members would go out to all the small businesses and we'd get them on the radio and we'd feature them on the website. And it's just a campaign feature, right? So I don't know how many of you are doing this or if it works well for your community, but certain communities, I think this can be a lot of fun. It's a great way to engage board members and volunteers and kind of, we called it a small business blitz. And we actually set a day where we went around and they were on the radio. It was fun. So I love those. That's cool.
Yeah, it's very nice. So great job with that. And then now I'm going to go into some more campaign toolkits. I've kind of like spread everything out in different categories, but just to show what others are doing as far as campaign toolkits. So this one here, this is United Way of York County. We don't normally recommend pre-designed text on images because we know that it's not ADA compliant. And Google can't search it, but they're using a great title field here with the campaign headquarters, and it is center focus, so it will adjust nice on a mobile device. But of course they have an embedded video as a prime focus on their campaign toolkit page. And then I like that they're using the tab component rather than the accordions. They're using tabs so that all of the different items are there for visitors to download based on the tab that they click on. A little bit of an accordion to display their cabinet here and all the names and the businesses they're from. And so I thought that was nice and clean. Great use of colors. Let's see here. And then next here is United Way of Northwest Georgia. I
Hey,
love the
Chrissy.
simple header. Oh,
Okay.
Can I interrupt you for just a second?
sure, go ahead.
There is someone that would love to see the tab feature on a mobile device. Would you mind going back and just popping that page into a mobile screen?
Do you know how to do the mobile Control Shift V or Control Shift M?
I can certainly try because I'm not logged in, but let's
Control
see.
Alt M. That's it.
Oh, okay, so it is cut off a little bit, but let's see.
And this might
What's in
not
the
be a
middle?
really accurate mobile view, but she wanted to see the tabs. Just go down towards the tabs.
Yeah, let's go to the tabs.
So yeah, they stack up and you can click on each one. That's what
Yep.
happened. Those were the tabs, right? So click on the different tabs. Can you link?
Let's see. Oh,
We're going to be
down
sending
here.
out links to these pages that we're featuring in the follow-up email that we send out that will have the link to the video and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm not going to throw all the details into this chat. Let's send them out to everyone at the end. So yeah, we'll send out a bunch of links to the pages we're showing so you guys can go check it out on your own and see what you like and don't like. All right. Thanks for that.
Okay.
Keep going.
Yeah. And I learned that new little tip to look at mobile view. So thank you, Allison. I'm so used to the little mobile view icons that you all have on your site
Yeah,
to look
when
at
you're
the mobile
logged in,
views.
when you're logged in, you should have an icon to go to mobile view. If you're not logged in, if you don't know this, it depends on your browser, but it's like Control Alt M for mobile, or Control Shift M, depends on your browser. It should give you that same mobile viewpoint that you get when you're logged in and you click the mobile thing. FYI.
That's awesome. Yeah. And so this one here, United Way, Northwest Georgia, I like this. I love how they did the simple header image at the top. And then they've kind of, instead of using accordions, they're using a great use of columns, images for the different brochures that they can click on, both in English and in Spanish. And then I kind of liked how they did this with the columns, using accordions within the columns component. So it kind of breaks up the page a little bit, makes a nice layout and format there. So I thought that one looked great. And then this is something that's a work in progress with United Way of Greater McHenry County that I thought was really neat. They're actually developing one of their secure areas as a workplace campaign portal for employee campaign coordinators to visit. So, you all have secure areas. You all have 3 that come with your website. If they're not in your content type, it's just a quick support ticket to our team. We can get those added, but you have 3 that you can use. And so with this one, they're providing logins to all their, setting up logins for all their campaign coordinators. so that when they log into their website, they come right to this secure area. And what they're doing is they're setting up all their workplace campaigns within tabs, as shown here. And the employee campaign coordinator can actually come in here, access their own workplace pledge forms that Allison's going to go over later. The employee campaign coordinator is set up on this web form so that they can get in there, view the results, download the results, all that fun stuff that Allison talked about. And then, of course, the campaign toolkit will be here. They can schedule presentations, a form to put down when they would like a presentation, a volunteer opportunity page, and then they're also using the accordions for some campaign materials as well. So again, this is a work in progress, but I think this concept is really unique.
Chrissy,
And I'm really, oh, yep.
is that one linked, the schedule a visit? Is it up? Is it live?
I'm not sure if she has anything on this yet. Let
Oh,
me
I would love to see
see.
it if she does. Because I think that's also, I'm going to do some sample forums that are out there, but having a forum where they can
So
request
it's,
speakers. Yeah, this is a simple one.
this
Yeah,
is a very basic.
yeah.
Mhm.
I've seen a variety of United Ways have speaker request forms, like maybe they request a certain agency or a certain topic or when they want someone to come out and present.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
forms can be really handy. Yeah, keep going. You're good.
Yeah, that sounds, yeah, that would be great. Where are we here? And so this one, I really love this page too. Another workplace campaign page, courtesy of United Way of Rock River Valley. And again, this is one of our new United Way branded themes that this is in, you know, great styling settings, great use of a header image. They have columns are using the link buttons again. Great header fonts, you know, the header 1 and the header 2, which are so critical with your search engine optimization. So they're doing a great job with that. The campaign toolkit, again, the accordions, it's very popular and it really looks nice on the page. But what I love, another thing I want to point out before I go any further, they are actually using anchor links so that these link buttons actually jump to different sections of the page. And you can use those too. Our support team can help you get those set up if that's something you wanted to have on one of your pages. Same thing for the campaign toolkit, it brings you right to the toolkit. And then down here is where they list all their different workplace campaigns, and they can click on their company's name and go right to the company workplace campaign page, which looks very nice. They're using the company's logo. I love this column setup where they're having quick links for the employee to view different things that they can have access to on the page, keeping the page really simple and clean that way. And then they've added their workplace pledge card, one of our web forms, as a page component to this page. So that's really nice. And then we're getting there. This is United Way of Central Illinois. For their workplace portal, they've decided to utilize all their company logos so that when they come to this page, they can click on their company logo, for example, and go right to their workplace campaign page, which looks very nice with the company logo. Again, they're using the quick links in the columns and they're using the styling settings, the background colors within their columns. One of our web forms added as a page component right to the page. And then I liked this little feature she added at the bottom. You can actually search for your local United Way here. This is linked out to United Way Worldwide search for your United Way page. But they also have their neighboring United Ways here listed to support them as well. And so if their donors want to come in and visit these their United Way pages as well. So I thought that was nice. We featured this one last year, but we really like this. Oklahoma State University, United Way of Payne County. Great workplace campaign page with lots of information for the employees to view as they come to this page. You have your link buttons, beautiful header image. the embedded video on the page. They get to meet the campaign chairs, their images, along with columns, more link buttons. It's just very nice, provides a lot of information, easy for them to get where they need to go. So you should definitely show that one again because it's a really great one. And then lastly, for my show and tell, I was trying to find some kickoff pages and different campaign events, but a lot of you are currently working on them. So I was having a little difficulty with that. So that's why we're always encouraging. Please send us examples. Like if you have pages you're proud of, doesn't have to be just campaign related, anything you're working on. We'd love to receive those so that we might be able to feature them in a future webinar. So please send those along if you have them. We encourage you to do so. But this was a kickoff tournament. And really, they just used a lot of rich text components. They did use columns, but they really took advantage of the styling settings with the background colors for this page. And they did have a web form added right to this page. It's currently closed, but that would have been embedded right on the page as well below this. So I thought I'd show that one. This is a very simple campaign kickoff page, but it's right to the point. It looks great. And I thought this is great to show also for those of you that aren't United Way organizations here today, like this works great for your event pages as well. They're utilizing the columns equal with a great image, the event details, the background colors here, and then they're adding the registration form as a web page component right to the page. So I just love it. It's clean, it looks good, very easy to navigate, and works great for all event pages. And then this here, this is a simple page, but I love the concept. Sioux Empire United Way is did a campaign kickoff week. And so I thought this was really cool because they're highlighting different things they're doing in their community on each day, to cultivate the community, engage with the community, different opportunities for people to get involved and celebrate the campaign kickoff. And they created a nice images to use here as well. So it's simple, but I really liked how it looked and the concept. And then lastly, I love this with United Way of Clallam County. This is a fundraising resource page, kind of gives ideas of different things people can do to raise more funds and donate. I love this header image. The colors, it's simple, but it looks very nice. But I love down here all these examples of different things they suggest that can be done to help raise more donations, whether it be with businesses or just regular, all of us in the community that we can do on our own to help support our United Way.
Hey,
And I
Chris.
love that go
Oh,
ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it is very pretty. Scroll up for me on this page. This
Yeah.
is reminding me of something you and I were talking about earlier, and I don't know if they've done this. Go ahead and stop there. See the ready to plan your fundraiser, and like it says click here or planning. Those are probably PDFs. And
Yep.
not needing to dig into their PDFs, but this is a
Okay.
good time to let you guys know or to remind you if you're uploading a PDF, because during campaign there's a lot of them, like there's like how to run a campaign, and there's a link to our logos and a link to our pledge cards and a link to our brochure and all this material. Do me a favor, or do us all a favor. Before you upload those PDFs and those documents, rename them a nice, short, simple name, and take the spaces out of the name. The spaces in the web world, a space becomes 20% as part of your URL, which doesn't look so good and can be problematic at times. So the best practice when uploading any PDFs or even images to your site is to not have spaces in the name. It will make those links work a lot easier and not look so ugly with like 20% in place of a space bar. So that's just a tip. There you go. Keep going.
Yes, thanks. I'm glad you added that. Yes, we were just talking about that. But that's pretty much all I have. Again, I just liked their imagery too. You know, they custom created with whatever they're using for their photo software. But everybody can do that, you know, to give that nice look on a page before they upload the images. And so
Yeah,
I
and
know Allison has a few more examples she
I
found.
do. And I do know in
Yeah.
the United Way rebrand, the circle is a common element, and we're seeing more and more graphics like digitally made like that outside in a Canva or something that looks like a circle. It's probably really a square, but it looks like a circle because they've removed the background. Those look really good, so be creative on that. We will be sending out the recording afterwards, so that will always happen, as well as links to these. So thank you guys. Someone, if you raised your hand, go ahead and find that Q&A. Um, oh, okay. There's a question about the PDF uploads.
Mm-hmm.
You do have a limit, a file limit. It's 15 megabytes for most of your sites. We don't want you uploading this giant 25 megabyte file. If you are in need of something that is extra large, reach out to your account manager. We could probably make an exception. There's also tools that will compress PDFs, so we will want to compress the PDF as much as possible. The reason a PDF is usually really large, especially in these kind of documents, is that you're putting 4 megabyte pictures in it or 5. So maybe if you can downsize be aware of that. If you're going to be putting a document on a website, the file size of the document is going to have to do with the file size of everything in the document. And if you use large pictures, it makes your document large. So if you can think through that, there is a file limit. You're not going to be able to upload a file that's more than 15 megabytes. We can help you with it if it's a must do, but we prefer not to. We prefer not to have them be
Yeah.
that. Um,
But yeah, again, like please schedule meetings with us. If you saw something you like, I mean, there's a lot you can do on your websites. You know, that's what we're here for, to help guide you, help teach you how to do these things. So please reach out to us. Your website includes unlimited meetings with us, and that's what we're here for. And again,
yeah,
thank you to all of you, all these wonderful samples and the wonderful work you're doing. It was a pleasure to show these today. So
yeah.
I'm going to stop sharing and pass it back to
Stop sharing.
Allison.
And I know Jordan's typing there. I'm going to answer some of this too, though. On how to do anchors, get with your account manager because there's more detail than we're going to go over in this webinar. So we can help you with anchors, which is that ability to pop down the page to different places. So reach out to us. We'll help you with that. I'm about to go through the pledge cards, put a pledge card on a page. If you're linking out externally to a digital pledge card, certainly that is something that can be done. Let me go ahead and share my screen again. So I have a few more in our show and tell world before I get to doing some practical work. I'll let you guys monitor those Q&As. And so this is something also like when we were talking about forms. I've seen these during COVID. This became very popular because people were having Zoom CEO visits, which I know some still do. So CEO visit, if you don't do it, back in the day when I was a director of United Way, that was the thing you went and met. This time of year, you're going and sitting down with each of your larger businesses. You have a packet for them, how their campaign did last year. You know, what do you want to do this year? What are your incentives? What's all that going to be? I've seen people digitally making CEO visit pages, either very specific for that organization or a more generic. This is a generic one where you actually send out a questionnaire to them about what they're anticipating for their participation, what's the best time to run your campaign. Is there any restrictions you need us to be aware of or to know about? Are you going to do matching gifts? Are you guys willing to be a sponsor for us this year? So grants, payroll deductions, what do you want to do? This is also a lot of times where I see them ask, do you want to do an online campaign? If so, how many pay periods do you offer? Who needs to be a part of that online campaign? Who's your HR person who needs a copy of the payroll? Who's going to be your campaign coordinator? All of that kind of stuff could be built into a web form and could be used in the digital world. I know a lot of times it's a more in-person personal thing, but it just depends on who you're working with and what makes sense to you. So it's something to think about. This one, I forget who shared this one with me, but I did like, their idea of how do you want to go about doing this stuff. And this could also be like, do you want a presenter, speakers? When would you like to have a kickoff? What do you want to do? All of that, think it through. You guys know the kind of questions that are often asked, but always think about being able to have that tool. I've also seen someone do a CEO visit page where they literally had tabs, and this tab was that questionnaire, but the other tab was maybe very specific for that company, and it was all of their results from last year and some information. So if you're going to do a Zoom and you want to do it that way, you could utilize a tool like this. Again, that was kind of very popular during COVID. Another form that I've seen used, a variation on this as well, is just an order form. So if you have coordinators and you need them to order supplies, or asking them questions like, have you done a campaign before? How many employees do you have? What do we need to know about you? What are your dates? Do you want an online pledge card? What are your number of pay periods? What are, like, an HR department might say, we have to know the employee ID number, if that's that kind of stuff, you could always ask. And then this is that order type of thing. How many paper forms, how many this, how many that, how many that, whatever you have, submit. So cool thing about our web forms, if you haven't heard us say this before, once a form is built, we can clone it to your site. If you're sitting there going, I want this form, reach back out to me or Chrissy, and I'll put a link in the thing and we can get it added to your site. So just let us know who you are, and we're happy to do that with either the CEO visit or the campaign pledge form or the pledge card. So here's a pledge card. I'm going to build a pledge page here in just a second, and I'm going to put this card on a page. But before I do that, I thought I would show it to you. So this is kind of a stock pledge card. I'm going to build a page for school here in just a second. Go ahead and it would ask some general stuff that you see on most pledge cards. What's your name? What's your address? And then this kicks you into what kind of donation are you going to do, if they're going to do payroll, how much. It does allow for math. This is always great that if the employer maybe allowed for math. This one might not be set up. I just cloned it over. If the employer only has certain pay periods, then we would eliminate the extra ones. You can, offer other options depending on what it is or what you need, including credit card, which can then kick out to having them pay online, or sending them to a separate form to pay for credit cards. So you have some options in here on how you build your pledge card out, what kind of questions you ask, whether or not you allow for detailed designations or not. We've seen this done a multitude of ways where you actually say how much you want to go to each designation. I know a lot of the United Ways I've talked to are getting away from designations because, but that's up to you. Okay. So let's do some practical work. This is our new demo site on the new Javelina theme, so I'm excited to use this. Before I create that school page, I do want to go ahead and add a rotor. I want to show you a couple things on this site too. This is a nice opportunity for anyone to see the back end of this new site, because I'm going to do some work behind here. One of the things that I think is kind of neat here is that you have a featured event option on the site. So I'm going to utilize this campaign kickoff page and put a rotor in and schedule my rotor for campaign kickoff. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through that process. I want to make sure everyone knows how to do this. So content, add content, front page rotor, which is not different than how we've done this before. This is Drupal 10, but looks very similar. So that's good news. We're going to have a campaign kickoff, and I will go ahead and add my image. We are making sure that these tell you what the dimensions should be. Nice thing with the new designs is that it is going ahead and allowing for a larger cut. So I'm going to move this crosshairs up by the heads. So that's what shows there. But when it goes to mobile, it will show a larger cut of the picture. You'll see what I say when I go there. Some cool new features. adding a darkening overlay. How many times have you wanted that to help the text and the things pop more? You can darken the image, but for this one, what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to select from a series of optional overlays that match this brand. So I'm picking these blue chevrons. It's going to put these blue things on the side, which is cool. And that just adds a really nice brand element to this. I'm going to go ahead and take this to that campaign kickoff page that I made earlier today. And I will say register. I have control over my button color. Let's go ahead and make that blue. And even the text will be white if I don't do anything. I want this to be first. Since I already know I have rotors in there that are numbered 1, 2, 3, I'm going to go with a negative number. If you didn't know that, that will push it to the front. And there's a space to write some text. So I don't remember what, oh, I know what date it was. Join us on September 11th. Because that is actually a popular campaign kickoff date I have seen, especially like for days of carryings and things like that, which is also a popular campaign thing. So before I save this, I'm going to look at my scheduling option, which is off on the right. I do want it to publish right now, but I am going to want it to unpublish after the event. So I can unpublish it on the 12th at 8 a.m. That's fine. And then I don't have to worry about it. That just gives me peace of mind that I don't have to go watch and see that I have to remove that when the date comes. So let's go take a look at this. So there it is. There's my campaign kickoff. Any words I type will show in here. Here's that register link that will go to that page, which is the campaign kickoff page that I have here. That would take me to a registration form, or I could put a form right on the page. So nice feature. I love the new setup here for your events in the new sites where the event page looks like this. It's very pretty. And you have the event feature on the homepage. But so rotors, schedule them out, get ahead of the game. Go ahead and the big events. That's usually what people are looking for a lot of times when they're coming to your site. If you have an event, the rotor is your prime real estate. So think of it that way. Make sure you have that showing off the things that people are looking for. Use it to schedule. People don't have the bandwidth to watch for more than 2 or 3 rotors. So change them up regularly. You should have new rotors at least every couple months. So please pay attention to that. Okay, let's create a page. Do I have a lot of stuff going on? Questions? This graphic
Yeah,
right here, this blue graphic that I added, which was called blue chevrons, was an overlay that comes with this theme. So this is in some of our new designs have this new overlay theme option. None of the older designs actually have that overlay theme option. I'm showing you what is available in the new stuff. So if you're like, ooh, I really love that. Yeah, talk to your account manager. Let's look at maybe a new design for you as far as getting that kind of feature. But what's great about it is then I don't have to graphically make something with this, right? It just overlays. Chrissy, were you saying something?
No, I'm just about to answer a question in the chat box. We're good.
Okay, cool. I'll keep going. All right, let me go ahead and make that school campaign page. So I'm just doing my content, add content basic page. Something to think about if you're going to create workplace campaign pages for your companies, which I think is a nice idea. And the nice idea is that they have that same URL year after year after year after year. So make it pretty generic, school campaign, right? Boring. But what you want to do is you want to get your lockdown in that URL. Okay. So make sure that you uncheck that box and you set yourself with a nice URL for your employers that you're able to give to them. It's their set page. You could reach out to them and say, do you have a CEO message? Do you want to feature your campaign coordinators? What would you like on this page, right? So I'll go ahead and add another picture up here. And again, when you're adding the pictures in, you can move the crosshairs. So in this theme, you also have the overlays for your internal page headers as well. This time, just to show a difference, I'll use the darkening feature. Actually, I'm going to use an overlay again because I haven't checked that one. So you have a few options on this. So campaign, join us for campaign 2025. You're going to have whatever messaging you want to have out there. Always remember to use your brand, whoever you are, whatever site you're using. Every page should have an H1, which is a page title. Every page should have an H2, which are keywords to the page and what's going on the page. So don't forget to be using your heading features. So as I work down this, let's go ahead and let's add an accordion. We saw a lot of the workplace campaign pages and the campaign toolkits used accordions. It just allows you to have a lot of information in a shorter area instead of this really, really long running page. So I do want to show how to place a video. So I'm just going to do video. And I know when she showed Denton had several videos. Some of you guys have like a video per agency or a lot of different videos. A lot of you just have your main campaign coordinator or campaign video. So depending on what you need, underneath this accordion, like if I had multiple videos and I wanted two side by side, I'd do equal columns. I'm just going to add one. So I'm just going to add a rich text editor. And you don't have to put the video in accordion. You could put it on the page. This is just how I'm sampling it. So how do I add an embedded video? So I have this video up here from Worldwide. It's their YouTube channel. You go to, it has to be loaded somewhere first. Vimeo, YouTube, some third-party tool. When you go to that tool, you're going to go to whatever share feature they have. So find share, and you'll usually see something that says embed. And it's code. Well, I can't write code, but I can certainly copy code. So I'm going to hit copy so I can copy it. I'm going to come back to my page, and now I need to paste the code. But warning, it's code. So code has to go where code goes. And code goes in source. So make sure you click source and all of this is grayed out. That's where code goes. So now I'm just going to Control V in my source. And I have added the video. And I can center it if I'd like. And let's hit save. Of course, I can also add it to the menu if I wanted. I wasn't messing with that in this moment. So the video is now inside this accordion. There it is, and it would play. And I could keep adding more accordions, keep building the page out. Let's go ahead, though, at the bottom of this page and add their pledge card. I have already made the school's pledge card, so I'm just going to add it to the page. So I'm going to come down here to the bottom, and I'm going to add it as a component. Oh, nope, I was still in the accordion section. I'm going to add it as a component below the accordion section, and I'm going to select web form. And I specifically had made it for school. So usually if I'm doing pledge cards on the website, I'll have a pledge card template and then I'll keep cloning it and I'll set one for school and I'll set one. I separate them for each employer, right? The reason you do that is because you want their data separated and one employer has this many pay periods and one employer has this many pay periods. So you will want to make sure you have a pledge card that is very specific for that company, for their company page. So I will grab that and just add it right in and hit save. That's just going to place it at the bottom of this page. There you go. So there it is underneath here. There's their pledge card. And I could put it in an accordion, but in this case, a lot of times with pledge cards, I like them just to sit on the page. Video, you might want to sit on the page too. It just depends on how much stuff you're putting in. So think through how you'd like to lay it out, what you'd like to do with that. Okay, I'd like to go ahead and talk about this whole pledge card idea that I had, though, about, hey, the HR person from the school wants to see the results. And Chrissy showed you this really cool portal that one of her organizations is doing where all of the campaign coordinators land into a portal. I think that's kind of a neat idea. So I'm going to the web form itself, which is found under Structure Web Forms. And I am going to this particular school web form. There is a setting, and it is found under settings. and under access. What it requires is that that person have a user account first. So I've already set that up. I set a user account up with the username of school and the password of school. So there is an account for that person, and it's what we call an authenticated user. When you go to access for a specific form, if you want one person or multiple people to be able to view submissions for that form only, you can give them access by putting in their username. So this person can't do anything else. They don't have any role to do anything else, but they have a role to view their results. So when I hit save on this, and I've got that school person, I'm just going to remember what this link is here because I forgot. You would probably then turn around and go, hey, we've given you access to the results of your form. Come to our website, scroll down to the bottom, log in. Your username is school, which is quite creative, let's just say. And when they log in, they need to go ahead and go to the link I gave you, which is to the pledge card page, and they're going to see a results tab. Cool, right? So you don't have to pull the report for them. They can come get their own report. There's no data here. But they're logged in with the ability to see results because you gave them access to the results page. And I think that's kind of a neat thing. It can be a game changer for you. Yes, go ahead.
Nelson, would you mind just showing like where you went to, like as far as access to put that information? And again, somebody's asking to see it again.
Yeah, let me do that again because if you turned away and you're like, wait, what? So
Right.
you're gonna log in as your normal administrative user, which back to me. And it's going to be a setting for a form. So first off, they have to have an account. I went ahead and did that. So you might ask your account manager, hey, I need an authenticated user account for so-and-so. You give us their email, what their username and password is. We set that up. So that was already done before I started this. I come to structure web forms. I go to the web form in particular that I'm talking about, and I'm going to go to its settings. And under settings, there is a thing called access. If you go to the access tab, these are creating submissions. Anyone can create a submission. An anonymous user can come and fill out a pledge card. I don't need to log in to create a submission. But what about viewing those results? Well, nobody can view the results except for you guys as admins, unless you give them permission, which I very specifically gave one very specific person permission to do this by adding their username, which was created for them as an account. So once that's created, then you can go, hey, if you log in and you go to this page, you'll see the results like I just did. Does that, hopefully, if you have questions about it, I know the stuff can get really deep, but this is a feature I want you to know about. Come back and ask us. We'll help you with it. Book a meeting. It's a great idea if you are in campaign prep mode to book a meeting with your account manager so we can go over all your stuff together. All right, I know I'm starting to run into time. Any big questions before I go on with my little, no? Okay. This is something we're going to send you. I'm not going to spend time on it. I just want to show it to you real quick. Our team has put this together on how to launch a successful campaign. It is a document that we'll be sharing out to you. It's got several pages about things like setting up goals and objectives for your campaign in general. This goes beyond like a one each website. This is more like, how do I tackle this project that I have in front of me? Who's my target audience? What are my campaign strategies? How am I going to go about doing this? What fundraising activities am I going to do? Am I going to do direct mailing? Am I going to do peer-to-peer fundraising? What are all of my approaches to doing my campaign? We do have some samples out here on what some folks have done, campaign toolkit kind of stuff. What are your campaigns as far as social media goes? How to get started with it, some advocacy campaigns. So anyway, there's some samples in here, some information. It's quite a few pages long. Here's like tasks for team members. So this is just meant to help you think through your process for planning your campaign. We'll send it out. So it is going to come to you as part of our our follow-up email from this. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's get your feedback on this campaign as we wind down here today. I have one more poll. Take a look at your screen real quick. This is just kind of asking you what you might do from what you learned today. If there's anything in here that got you excited and you think you might want to do some of these things, you can mark as many of them as you want. Hopefully this has been informational for you. I know we're starting to plan the second half of the year's webinars. So if there's anything that you're like, gosh, I really wished you would do something on this topic or that topic, we definitely want to hear from you on this. We will send out links to those samples that we showed. I'll send a link to that book. Book meetings with us. We're here to help you. And I'm going to just let this poll end. There you go. Thank you all. A lot of you are going to work on your campaign toolkits. So thanks for that. And as we wind down, any other questions coming in here?
No.
All right. So just closing this out, we have the webinars. This is the link from our support site to all past webinars. So this webinar will be out there within about 24 hours. Any questions you need support tickets, book with your manager. And then coming up, so next month, I'm so excited about the next two. One, I'm not presenting, but I'll be on them. But we have these great guest speakers. The Amazon business one, if every nonprofit needs to hear from these guys because they can do some really cool stuff for you. And we have learned so much from them that we thought you guys need to hear from them. It's not a sales pitch. It is like what is available to you that you might not know about. Please, please plan on attending that because it's going to be really good because we were very wowed by them. Some of you saw Abby James back before talking about SEO. She's coming back to talk about Google Ad Grants because you asked for her to. So we're doing that. That's going to be in July. And then we're still figuring out the rest of the year. So again, if you have some ideas, we'd love to hear what your ideas are. So there's that. And with that, oh my, what are we doing? We out of time? Oh,
We are right. Perfect.
I thought it was over actually, so I'm excited to see that one out. All right. Well, thank you all so much for your time today. We'll be following up with questions that you've had and sending this follow-up out. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you.